The record, though, is Big Sound. And so the record that was released in 2009, and I guess early last year, does have...
In October.
In October, does actually have Big Sound. And there is a horn section that is pretty cool. And you played a couple songs for us from the record. I wanted to ask you about Directo, because I don't know necessarily what it's about, but I'd love to be able to tell people what the song is about. What is Directo about?
It's actually, I like to say that it's my favorite song on the album, and it's because it's a short song. It's one of those songs that you manage to make them feel that time is not passing, not going by when you're listening to it.
Yeah.
And it's from a short song you manage to build it up, dynamically, and it moves you, But it's a pretty much a play on words, I think, because I'm saying something like, I'm sending you this song that says nothing, but it goes straight to your heart. I'm giving you a reason to fall in love with me, something like that, In Spanish, sounds very cool.
It does sound very cool in Spanish.
But the whistling sounds cool too. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Were you digging it?
Yeah. I was thinking that it's also a nice tweet in English.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, when I play live, I said to the audience that it's my most bilingual song.
Right.
And that they are going to be able to join me at a turning moment in the song. So I wait until there, and then I say, well, this is the part I want you to sing with me, and I started whistling.
Yeah.
But it's wonderful. It's fantastic to hear a whole, 500 people in a theater whistling. It's
pretty
really
cool.
Amazing,
How hard is it for you to turn off the Spanish, turn on the English, and play some songs in English, then go back to Spanish? Is that just something that you've had to do out of necessity because... in Canada, the market's probably bigger for English singers than Spanish singers. Is that just something that you forced yourself to do and do naturally?
Well, I waited, I think, the necessary time for me to get comfortable with the language, because if you're a creator, you know that creativity comes from a very special place inside of you, with confidence and meaning and all of that, right? So I wanted to wait until the moment where I felt the same thing in English, and it didn't happen until this album. And that's why this album has my first English song ever, If You Give Me Love. It came to me in the studio. Mm-hmm. I was doing something, and all of a sudden the melody hits me. I started jamming on it, and with the collaboration of the producer, we wrote it, and I felt complete confidence to do that. Therefore, I am now moving more towards that, because I'm getting more of it. I'm getting lyrics coming to me in English, But I wanted to keep it organic. I would like to give it to the people in the most organic way I can.
And it's probably the most real way too, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to just write English songs for the sake of writing English songs.
Yeah.
Is that probably
it also feels like all right, we have built a mystery here. How are we going to solve it? How are we going to unfold, in front of the people's faces, so that they remain in love with the music? Because Spanish is a romantic language, and people feel something when they listen to my music. But it's up to their imagination to know what I'm talking about, right? So if I come up in English talking about, I don't know, no that great of topics and things, it would be maybe a downfall. But I want you to take a look at my music side, which is it's been my main force, and I believe that music is an international language.
Well, and that's what I said before we sat down to chat, is that I listened to the record, and I thought the record was great, even though I didn't necessarily understand the lyrics. I understood the playing and the instrumentation and everything that went into the song, and I still don't know what you're necessarily singing about, but that didn't matter to me. And that's probably the most important thing, because that's the most authentic experience that somebody could have with your music. Yeah,
when I started doing music or recording as Alex Cuba, one thing that I was noticing right away is that I tend to mix styles in the same album, and go from here to there, crossing and surfing in many different styles of music.
Right.
And I had to tell you, I wasn't sure about it. Oh my God, is that consistent, or what's going on with this? Today, I think that it's been my signature to entertain an audience that, in 98% of the cases, doesn't understand what I'm talking about. So going from one style to other keeps you interested, keeps you surprised, keeps you entertained.
Right.
So that's pretty much what I think makes my identity as a musician. You know?
You're going to continue touring this record
Yes.
through the spring and summer, and then what's next for you?
What's next? What we're gonna do more dates in the fall for sure. We have a release of the album coming up in
The United States.
In Germany as well in September.
In Germany?
The United States will be...
That's a whole other market that I wouldn't imagine.
The United States will be in June,
Yeah.
June 8th. We are the release is already set up, and we're going to be touring there, supporting the album. It's very unique. It's very interesting. It's very interesting what's happening in the U.S. with my music, and I see a lot of similarities of what my music is doing in Canada, because every time we play, you see the room, you look at what kind of people came, and the most lovely things is happening, which is all kinds of people are coming down. And that is the core of my music. That is the ultimate message of Alex Cuba. I want to unify the world through music and do peace with peace.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for taking the time and for making great music, and we really appreciate it. We'll see you again soon.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.